and see Indonesia. In this episode, let's find a peaceful serenity in between this blissful nature and the legacy of Minangkabau's culture. See the beauty only on See Indonesia. The long and winding road, that is Kelok 9, is a winding road segment located about 30 kilometers east of Payakumbuh, West Sumatra to Riau. Kelok 9 means 9 sharp turns. The road stretches through Jorong Air Putih, Nagari Sari Lama, Harrow Sub-District and the Regency of 50 Kota in West Sumatra. It is also a part of the interconnecting road link between central Sumatra and the east coast of Sumatra. The road has a sharp bend bordering on ravine and flanked by 2 hills between 2 nature reserves, which are the Whitewater Reservation and the Harrow Nature Reserve. Today we're going to the Harrow Valley, but first let's enjoy some morning coffee while enjoying this green canyon view. Not just that, this is a home to many wild animals.
There's a lot of monkey over there.
I feel that today is gonna be a good day. Alright, our destination is Harrow Valley. It is a canyon near the town of Payakumbuh in 50 Kota Regency, West Sumatra. It is flanked by steep rocky hills which measure 150 meters and surrounded by steep colorful sandstone from 100 to 500 meters high. From below, you can see the valley is adorned with lush green rice fields hemmed in between huge granite cliffs. It has dozens of waterfalls tumbling down from heights of 80 to 300 meters to the valley below, cutting the Padang River. No wonder the Harrow Valley is sometimes dubbed as the Yosemite of Indonesia. As soon as I arrived in one of the green spaces, I saw a calf having breakfast with its mother. I gently approached the calf. She was shy at first, but became friendly after she was familiar with my scent. Her mother seems to approve. Gibbons, macaques, and variety of wildlife roams the area freely, since the 50 Kota district has been designated as a nature reserve that covers around 669 acres. This place truly has a beautiful landscape. That's why I want to capture it in the form of a painting. Such a peaceful serenity. It's only interrupted by the occasional calls of gibbons. Who knows? Maybe they're looking for someone to hang out with. Anyway, I'm gonna try to paint in watercolor. I never learned about this in art class, but I do love Georgia O'Keeffe. Her painting called Pedernal inspired me to draw the Harrow Valley as a testament of the bond that I feel with this place.
Nothing is more peaceful than trying to paint nature.
I was accompanied by my fellow animal pals while playing the Mozart Piano Sonata No. 12 in F major playing in my head. What an enlightening experience.
Okay, I think I'm done with my painting. Do not make fun of me, I'm not really a painter, but this is what I draw.
Who knows, drawing is apparently very beneficial for the mind. So I told you that there are many waterfalls around the Harrow Valley, right? Let's go to one of the waterfalls called the Murai Waterfall, known by the local as Sarasah Murai. It is only 1 kilometer from the Harrow Valley. You can reach the waterfall from the parking area by walking around 200 meters. On your way to get there, you'll pass by cinnamons and chocolate plantations owned by locals. The waterfall is named after a bird called white-rumped shama. Locals said that the site used to be a place for white-rumped shamas to bathe and mate. Now it's a place for people to swim around. The waterfall is around 10 to 50 meters in height and has 7 tiers with granite rocks surrounding it. The water streams faster in this waterfall, especially during the rainy season. That's why the water is brown in color with muddy rocks on the surface. You can also walk on suspension bridge across the waterfall. It's not that high, but it could be fun for your children. I wanted to try and climb on the stream since I heard that the water is very clean to the point that it's potable. I'm not going to drink it, just like the bird. I want to bathe there. The streams are so strong, I can hardly see anything. And so cold. I don't advise you to jump into the water from up here though, because the pool is not very deep. You could hurt yourself. Get ready for some action because we're going to see some Minang martial arts attraction called silat. The silat we're going to see is called silat Harimau Campo or Campo Tiger style. It is one of the oldest silat system in the existence. Silat Harimau Campo rose to fame after it was featured in an Indonesian action film called Merantau Warrior in 2009. The main character was played by actor Iko Uwais, an expert in Silat Harimau Campo. Martial art groups that still practice Harimau Campo can still be found all over West Sumatra. But I came down to West Padang Panjang to see a martial art group called Kuciang Putih Harimau Campo. The Minangkabau people form the dominant sovereignty in West Sumatra and make up the most of Sumatran pencaksilat systems. Many martial arts in Indonesia have been influenced by silat and its technique. It forms the core of pencaksilat throughout Sumatra. Stealth and ambush are the preferred war tactics of the Minang people, and some say they were among the best individual assassins in the world. Silat Minangkabau is characterized by its low stance and reliance on kicks and legwork. The low stance was apparently developed to minimize the chances of falling when fighting on slippery ground. Hand and arm movement are fast. It is honed through an exercise where a person stands across from the practitioner while tossing sharpened sticks or knives. It is honed through an exercise where a person stands across from the practitioner while tossing sharpened sticks or knives. Silat Harimau epitomizes Minang technique, focusing on crouching and kicking from low position paired with rapid hand attacks. Silat Harimau Campo uses a weapon called the karambit, a small Indonesian curved knife resembling a claw. And there is a philosophy behind the Silat Harimau Campo.
Rajanya alam itu kan harimau. Nah, itu kaum adat mensimbolkan untuk menguasai alam takambang, jadi guru adalah gerakan harimau. Dan teknik-teknik harimau itu sebagai filosofi bagi angku datuk penghulu negara bahasa Batua. Kalau ada sesuatu itu dikoyak dulu, kemudian baru dibagikan pada rekan-rekannya. Kemudian kebersamaan harimau itu bagaimanapun dia ganas, dia tidak pernah harimau itu makan anaknya. Dia tidak pernah memakan kelompoknya.
Silat Kuciang Putih Harimau Campo is rooted in the tradition of silat, but more than that, the group actively takes part in regional as well as national sporting events. Recently, some of the students were sent to compete at the 20th Indonesian Sports Week held in Papua this year. The group has a sizable number of students, estimated to number around 10,000. It spreads widely outside of West Sumatra and Indonesia. It can now be found in 26 other countries, including Australia, the United States, the Czech Republic, and several South Asian countries like Malaysia and Singapore.
Yang mereka berasal dari murid-murid yang diajarkan di sini dan mereka mengembangkan ilmu mereka di tempat masing-masing. Sehingga target kita memang silat ini bisa menjadi go internasional, bukan hanya untuk silatnya tapi juga untuk KPHC-nya.
If you want to learn the art of pencaksilat, you could definitely come down to the school and practice with the whole gang.
Anyone who wants to learn the art are welcome to join their practice season, often held on weekend afternoons. It is also open for all genders. In fact, most of the students I'm practicing with today are women. Aside from gender, the group opens their doors for all ages too, as children as young as 7 can join, like this young boy Ogi, who dreams to be a silat athlete when he's older. If you're lucky, Datu David could teach you a trick on how to slam the opponent without injuring them.
This is so fun! This is a bit like dancing, but in an extreme kind of way.
Another important net of silat is that you don't injure your opponent. Instead, you need to deflect their attacks methodically. Moving on to Tanah Datar Regency, I'm going to visit the Pagaruyun Palace, a legacy of the bygone Pagaruyun kingdom from the 17th century. Since the kingdom was dissolved in 1833, no king or royal family resides there today, but it is still held in high esteem among the Minangkabau people. The palace was actually destroyed by fire several times in 1804, 1966, and 2007. It has been rebuilt time and again. Now it functions as a museum and popular tourist attraction. If you visit the palace, you must try to rent a traditional Minang costume. It seems to be quite popular among visitors.
Aha! Ooh la la! Look how festive my outfit, huh? This is called baju kurwang, and then the heavy headpiece, it is called suntiang. This is what they wear usually on a wedding. And then the reason why suntiang is quite heavy, because it symbolizes the responsibility the woman needs to carry once they become a wife. If you take a look at the ornament though, you know, it's very grandeur. It has some Indian influence and also some Chinese influence. And that influence actually extended to the traditional house. So let's take a closer look at that.
The original Pagaruyun Palace was built entirely from timber. However, the frame of the current building was built using modern concrete. Nevertheless, Pagaruyun Palace was quite faithfully restored using traditional technique and materials. It is adorned with 60 carvings that signify Minang philosophy and culture. It has 3 stories with 72 pillars, and the typical rumah gadang gonjong features a horn-like curved roof made from 26 tons of black palm fibers. It is also furnished with over 100 replicas of Minang antique furnitures and artifacts. The restoration effort took 6 years to complete and cost an estimated $1.71 million. While you're in Tanah Datar, make sure you visit an old village called Nagari Pariangan. It's only around 15 kilometers from the market town of Batu Sangkar and 35 minutes from the Pagaruyun Palace. The village is said to be the oldest of all Minangkabau settlements. It has a fertile soil since it is located on the lower slopes of Mount Marapi, a highly active volcano. Naturally, most villagers here live from agriculture. As you come down to the residential area, you'll find many rumah gadang traditional homes. Pariangan is one of the best preserved traditional Minangkabau village. The oldest of these homes are said to be 300 years old and features beautiful wooden carvings as well as the rattan walls. There's also a traditional mosque said to date back to the beginning of the 19th century. Unfortunately, it's being renovated, so I couldn't catch a glimpse.
This village was on the list of the most picturesque village, and one of the contributing factors for this village to be on the list was that how they preserved the indigenous culture.
The list was published in 2012 by Budget Travel magazine based in New York. Pariangan Village was included in the list of the 5 most picturesque villages in the world by Budget Travel. It stands among other villages in Switzerland, France, Canada, and the Czech Republic. I bumped into a group of kids playing in front of Rumah Gadang, and I didn't know why, but they invited me to play with them. Okay, I might be too old for this, but I don't see why not.
Okay, so I'm going to try this game. This is called apa, Dek? Namanya di sini? Dore. It's like hopscotch in English. So let's try this. I don't know the rule of the game exactly, but they're going to walk me through it.
First, they told me to join hands so we can determine who will go first. You need to flip your hand while chanting Hom Bim Pa Alaihum Gambreng. If the same players show the same side of their hand for the least time, either the palm or the back, then they are the winner. Losers must keep flipping their hands until they can decide who goes last. I volunteered to go last because I wanted them to show me how to do it. They hand me a rock to throw into some boxes that were drawn on the ground. Then I must jump over the rock and keep repeating the same movement until I reach the last box. There, I have to pick up my rock and place it on where I dropped it. The next one in line must not step on the rocks of the other players. It's such a weird system, not to mention the steps. I keep messing up the steps.
Gini. I don't know how to do this. This is like so next level hopscotch. I don't understand the rules at all.
It's slightly embarrassing that a bunch of kids need to intensely teach me how to move my legs around, but I eventually got the hang of it.
Ahmad move. Look at that. Oh, it's very agile. It's very small, so he's like moving very fast. Really nice to look at.
It's getting late, so the game must stop. As you can guess, Ahmad won the game. Whew, it's exhausting to jump around. I can't tell whether they made me feel old or young. But thanks for teaching me a new way to play hopscotch. Aside from breathtaking scenery, Nagari Pariangan also boasts a calm atmosphere and cool air since it sits from 500 to 700 meters above sea level. Then I visited a nearby cafe that sells a local beverage called Waka Coffee. The story is quite fascinating. Long before the Dutch East India Company or VOC colonized Indonesia, the people of West Sumatra and Kerinci enjoy coffee differently. They don't brew the beans, instead they brew the leaves, like tea. In time, this turned to a debate for ages. According to some, the Dutch were the ones who introduced locals to brew coffee beans. But some believe that this kawa coffee comes from the cultuurstel or enforced planting the Dutch did in the mid-19th century. Coffee farmers were forced to perform hard labor while the Dutch took all their coffee beans, so the farmers were left only with the leaves and the kawa coffee was born. Well, I don't want to start a debate or anything. I came down here to take a sip on the kawa coffee. It is traditionally served hot in a coconut shell. You can also add palm sugar if you like it sweet. If you wonder what it tastes like tea. but not quite. It has a distinctive scent and aftertaste, perfect for a cold place like this.
And this coffee kawa is so unique, just as unique as the Minang culture, and I think this is a fantastic way to close our journey. Cheers, until next